Well, hello everybody and welcome to your language teaching and learning channel. As you know, the objective of this channel is to share tips, ideas and suggestions that can be applied inside as well as outside of the classroom in order to make learning a fun and enjoyable and successful experience. After all, that's what we're all here for, right? In order to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Now, some of the videos may be aimed towards the teaching of the language. Let me just set up the camera here. Whereas some of the other videos will be aimed at the learning of the language. Nevertheless, students as well as teachers can benefit from watching the videos. Okay? Having said that, this video is specifically aimed towards a younger crowd. It could be teens or late teens, maybe even young adults. Okay? So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, now many students say that we teachers don't understand them because things are different now than when they were when we were learning a language or anything else. And I would definitely have to agree, and I'm sure everybody agrees, right? Teaching has changed, especially in the last 20 years, drastically, the way we teach, the way we learn, right? Back in the good old days, you see, this is what we needed. We needed a whole bunch of books to find information that was necessary for us to do our assignments. If we didn't have the books, then we needed to go to a library and find them to do the research and everything else. Nowadays, you have all that information here. You can have all these books and more here. And even if you don't have them, you have access to libraries around the world and an incredible amount of information at the tip of your thumbs. Okay, this is very true. That has definitely changed a lot. However, there are some basic concepts about life, nature, and learning that have not changed. Okay, and this is where the apple comes in. Okay, I'm sure everybody knows the story of Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, that he was sitting under a tree and the apple fell on his head, and that's how he came up with the theory of gravity. Correct? Now, that was that was in 1665. Okay, 1665, which means 355 years ago. Now that is old school. Okay, that's really old. Okay, however, you see, that is a fact. That was true when he found that out, when he discovered it. It's been true all this time, it's true now, and will continue to be true. Actually, that was true even before he came up with the idea, right? You drop something, it falls. That's it. It's a fact. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Now, of course, things have changed. Technology has improved, and now we can send man to the moon. However, we need to keep this concept in mind, because keeping this concept in mind, we have been able to develop the technology, again, to send man to the moon. Okay? But that's a fact. Let's talk about learning. Okay? I'm going to give you a fact. I'm going to give you two numbers, and I would like you to try to figure out what the meaning of those two numbers is related to learning a language. Those of you who are curious and want to find out on your own, you can pause the video while you do the research, okay, and then come back to it. Those of you who are impatient and want to know the answer right away, don't worry, I'll give you the answer right away, okay? These are the two numbers, okay? This is the first one, and this is the second one, okay? This is the moment for the curious ones to pause the video and go and do the research, okay? For those of you who can't stand the suspense and want to know the answer, here's the answer, okay? 80% of what you do in the classroom, you will forget in 24 hours. And that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay? Now, the same as this, you see, it's a fact. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just true. This, it's a little more difficult to prove, but you can go and look for yourself. 80% of what you do in the classroom, you will forget in 24 hours. You don't believe me? Like I said, look it up. No problem. Those of you who pause the video probably already looked it up. Right? Now, besides just looking it up, I'm very sure most of you have already experienced that. Right? I'd like you to think back. I'm sure this has happened to you more than once, many times. You know, you went to a class and the teacher had prepared so well that he or she explained the topic really well. It was all very clear with examples and everything, and you got involved in the classroom and you were engaged with the topic, and you know, you even took notes in your notebook as well. This is fantastic, right? And then the next day or a couple of days later, the teacher gives you a test on exactly the same thing that you were doing that day. And has this happened to you, that you're looking at the test and you're going, oh my God, we did this yesterday. That was easy. How did he do that? Or how did she do that? But it was simple. I understood everything yesterday. How many times has that happened to you? Okay? It's because of this. Right? So you have proved it. Okay? It's a fact. Now, you can change that, obviously, and it's very simple. Whatever you do in the classroom, right, you need to go home and check it out. Okay, review it. And by reviewing, I don't mean you go to home and yeah, that was easy. Everything. No, that's not reviewing, that's not checking. You need to analyze the questions, the answers, do them again, record them, listen to yourself, read them aloud, whatever, okay? But make sure you really, really check them again. If you do that, you see, instead of forgetting 80%, you will probably remember 80%, right? Now, these are facts. The same as the Apple, with technology and time, we have improved so much that with this basic fact, we can now send man to the moon, as I said, right? That's where you come in, okay? You already know these facts, and that by reviewing you can improve. And here's the question. How can you use these in order to overcome that problem? Okay? Now this is a very important concept, and we will continue to talk about that in the next video. But for now, we're going to stop, because that's what I would like you to think about. You know, analyze it. How can you, knowing these facts, apply the technology that you have now in order for you to figuratively go to the moon as a student, okay? Be the best student that you can and improve. How can you do that? Knowing these facts and having the technology at your hands, okay? I will leave you with that for now, and until next week, happy learning.